Woman of God, you want to be a God's will girly. And what do I mean by that? Personally, I love to be in the will of God. And I mean, like, you don't even want to move until you know it's God's will. And I'm not saying be so paranoid that you can't make a decision unless you know for sure that it's God's will. But what I mean is that, like, in the depths of your heart, you truly desire to do God's will. Personally, when I do God's will, I feel so at peace. I feel so much joy. I feel like I just ate. Like, if God tell me to do something and I do it, I just feel like I ate a good plate of food. And you know what's funny? In John chapter 4, Jesus actually says, "It is my food to do the will of the one who sent me." So if we want the mind of Christ, then we want the same mind that was in Christ Jesus to be in us. We have to see it as satisfaction to do God's will. It's not even see it as, it truly is, because when you do God's will, when you know you're in the will of God, you know you're right where you're supposed to be, you're doing what he asked you to do, you're doing what you've been called to do. Whatever his will for you is in this season, unless you do it, you will feel uneasy, you will feel unfulfilled, you won't feel at peace, you'll feel like something's missing. But when I do God's will, I feel so good, y'all. Like, that's what I mean. Like, be a gospel girly. Make it up in your heart that you're not just gonna pray, let not my will be done, but your will be done, but actually live it out and seek God's will. Ask him. Like, the way I am, I want my breakfast to be in the will of God. Like, I love God's will because it's the safest place to be. There is peace. Okay, when you're outside of God's will, you open yourself up to attacks. You open yourself up to all types of mess that you don't need to go through. But when you're in God's will, there is safety, there is covering, there is protection. So be a God's will girly, y'all.